of dealing with some I don't really know if it's something that my family wants put out there yet, but there are some really upsetting things that are happening in my family right now where we could all use your prayers. And so right now I'm having a really hard time at not allowing myself to get back. Well, actually, I'm not having a hard time not letting back into bad habits. My heart's really breaking right now, and I just have to rely on God and know that He's going to take care of my family and not let certain things happen, because there's someone that means a lot to me that I need to keep here down on earth. Anyways, I wanted to talk about, with a lot of different things going on, one of the things is heartbreaking, because I have someone who's really close to me that I absolutely love, whose husband can't stand me. And that just breaks my heart, because that person doesn't know anything about me. And how can you hate somebody if they know nothing about you, right? So that is one of the things that I've had to learn just to kind of deal with as I've known this person, because some of the time we have things that are out of our control, and that's the hard thing when it's something that you can't control and change. You have to learn how and what you need to do for yourself to cope with things in life, instead of ruminating on it and just thinking about it nonstop. So I have a whole bunch of things, like I said, that are going on. And my typical thing that I would normally go to give me immediate comfort is eating. And I would binge and I would stuff my face like crazy, because I want that pain or that frustration or those upsetting thoughts in my mind to go away. So I would go to certain things. One of them was binge eating. Two of them is tapping out and pretending that something isn't going on. And I would hide from family members, kind of seclude myself in my room, pull away from people. I would react really snotty and ornery with friends and family. That was my way of trying to pretend that whatever's hurting me and upsetting me is not happening, is by stuffing things under the rug and not acknowledging them. The crazy thing that I know so many, and I would have to say 90% of us do, is pretending that something's not going on, because none of us like to feel pain, right? And so you see a lot of different ways people deal with it. But I want to give you some advice here, because I really am super grateful that this last year, with tons of really hard things happening in my life, I still knew how to get myself to feel peace. I still learned how to be aware of things, but not hide from it, not allow myself to sit there and ruminate about, because if you allow yourself to sit there and think about it, and you don't have coping tools, you can really put yourself in a panic attack, or pull yourself away from amazing things. I missed out on stuff that I dreamed of having my whole entire life, and and really ended up sabotaging a lot of friendships because of it. So I'm not saying that you have to go to counseling in order to get these coping tips. I'm pretty sure that you can go to the library, you can look up certain stuff, you can read books about it, but doing nothing about it in general, not learning what you can do, not understanding how you can help yourself, and saying to yourself the false belief of, well, I've always been like this, so it will never get better. And I used to say that to myself a lot. Or here's another one. I'm doing okay. I've done fine. I've gone this far, and you know, I'm just gonna continue living life the way it is. What you don't realize is as you go through life, if you're constantly going through friends, if you're constantly going through relationships, if you're constantly allowing somebody to control you in a relationship, maybe they make you feel bad about yourself all the time, and maybe you don't realize that's what it is that's happening. All these different things. If you're living in a set place of life is just supposed to be this way, then I want to be honest with you. You're not doing what you need to do to get further and grow in life. That is a fixed mindset that is going to get you nowhere. It's not going to get you happiness. It's not going to get yourself security. It's not going to take away your fears. It's not going to help you strengthen relationships. And it's a very miserable way to live. I lived there. I was in that place for 32 years. And finally, a year into my life, here's an example. Yesterday, I gave a talk in church, and I used no notes at all. I felt super confident. I told myself, hey, you know what? You've got this. You can do this. Normally, I'd be like really sick with flu symptoms, wanting to say, forget it, not believing in myself that anybody would want to hear what I had to say. And believe me, my mind wanted to go there, but I kept telling myself, okay, Lisa, you have the ability to do great things. People want to hear what you have to say. And of course, it doesn't just come that way the first time you say it, the first 60, 90 times you say it. You have to make it a repetitive thing on a daily basis. And I promise you, because I've done it, it works. So as I got up there in front of tons and tons of people, a lot of people I don't know, I just told myself, you know what? Sometimes you have to kind of lie to yourself and say, people are there just to listen to me. And so as I gave that talk in church, I felt like I slammed it. I felt like it was a slam dunk. I'm not going to allow myself to go to the areas of, well, maybe there was a person that got sick of hearing you or this, that, and the other. So I was living high on a kite all day yesterday, feeling super confident. And then I had somebody really close to me message me and tell me some really sad news about their spouse and how much their spouse hates me and how their spouse doesn't want me to be around him anymore. And I just sobbed and I cried and literally felt like crawling up in a ball. And as quick as the confidence came, as quick as it went, because I had a negative thing, a negative fact from somebody I care more about than anything in the world tell me something bad about myself. Now, I can continue sitting on this and being like, well, I should just pull away from that person because their husband doesn't like me. I should just, you know, what if they believe what their husband says? What if, you know, all these different negative things, and completely sabotage a relationship and not only break her heart, but my heart too. Or I can be like, you know what? He knows nothing about me. He's never taken the time to get to know me. I will continue to pray for him, pray for his heart to be softened. I can tell myself that it's something that's out of my control, but that's okay because God has my back, which is really super hard, right? When you can't control something, a marriage, a relationship, or whatever it is, you just have to be like, but I will change what I need to do about it. I'll change how I think about it. I'll change how I feel about it. I'll change what I'm going to do about it. And then sit on it, feel it, be aware that it's making me sad. It's giving me anxiety. There is anger there. Those are the emotions that I'm feeling. And then be able to tell myself, okay, I've felt, I've thought, and I've sat on this. Now it's time to move on from it. And that's when I go to the next step of, after being aware, is reminding myself of the tools that I need to use, which is keeping myself busy, not allowing myself to go to the things that I'd normally go to, like food or watching TV and staying in bed all day, avoiding my phone, avoiding other people. So then what I've chosen, I've made a list, a mental list in my head of the things that I'm going to choose to use instead. And that is, I've developed talents in my life, and instead of waiting to watch what talents you have, I've gone out and find them for myself. I've learned how to build. I've learned how to decorate, these different things. And so the amazing thing about it is I now have things that I can go to when I'm feeling sad or upset, that are healthy things that will help me cope better. Now, it's not going to be something, these type of things cannot be something that just gets you from day to day to day. It has to be things that you have learned to enjoy, you have learned to take excitement in and happiness. So maybe building isn't something for you. Maybe it's exercise. Maybe you have no idea at all, and that's what my challenge is for you this week, is to go out and find what makes you happy. Go find out what you're good at. Find out what you learn to love what to do. Maybe it's, you think you might be kind of okay at drawing, so experiment with it a little bit. You think you might be kind of good at doing like bodybuilding or whatever, go and do that. Anyways, these type of things are going to be what helps you to earn that place with confidence too, because it's not something that's given. You have to earn it. You have to fight for it. You have to work for it. And don't let it take you your whole entire lifetime to be able to get where you've always wanted to be. See yourself there. Smell it, think it, feel it, taste it. Create yourself a vision board. I created myself a vision board of how I want to look, where I want to be, how I want to feel, what I want to do, what type of things I want to earn and get in my life. And then nobody has the right to keep you from being where you want to be. Even if it's your child, your spouse, your parent, whatever it is. And I tell you, I've climbed over some people to get away from people that have pulled me down, that have told me that I can't do it, that are too jealous to be able to cheer, that are too angry to be able to compliment, that are too sad and depressed about their own life that they feel like they have to pull you down. Don't allow that to be something that you tell yourself is worth holding on to. I'm not telling you to get out of the relationships. I'm not telling you to get away from the people. But one thing that you can decide and choose to do is what you do on a daily basis when you're around these people. Let them affect you, or don't let them affect you. But learn how to feel, learn how to be aware, feel, and then figure out what you need to do to cope better in life and choose healthy things. Figure out what your talents are. Stop telling yourself that you don't have talents, and then move forward, because you guys all have the ability to do this.